2nd and 11. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. On play action, they'll throw. This is intercepted. Picked off by Jihad Campbell. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Hurts. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Mason Graham. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. Now back to throw. This one deep for Wilson. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Philly. 44 yards.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked. And there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
Hurts sets up to throw it. It's caught on the right side of Smith. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Eagles have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. But he is finally run down. Would have been 2 if he'd made it all the way, but instead, simply a missed extra point.
You and I have not met a coaching staff yet that likes to coach negative situations. You know, even plant that in their head. But you have to work on what happens if you get an extra point blocked. Because now they can pick it up and return it for 2 points. You have to go over that.
Nice job to get back there and make the tackle, preventing them from getting all the way. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
They'll let this go deep for Waddle. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Jacorian Bennett has it. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
They'll run on first down. Colbert. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. When you look at this defense, this unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Here's Achane to start the drive. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
2nd and 3.
Here's 2nd and 3. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And just shutting him up there. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
That's good for a Dolphins.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Achane. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's 2nd and 8. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line.
That's another Boston first down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They'll send the tight end in motion. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. In motion, the tight end. Back to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. This guy's been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Oh, they're changing this at the line. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Dolphins, nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field.
Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there for the Dolphins. 53 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And now they'll shift things around. They go play action here on first down. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. A run straight ahead with H.M. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. How about this? They'll change it at the line. Touchdown, Dolphins! From a yard out. And the Dolphins take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that cuts this lead down to 13. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
At the 34-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Looking to throw on second down. Hurts. That's taken in. It's Isaac to Slaw. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Hurts changing up the play.
63.
Throwing on second and long. Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. They'll try and do this himself. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Looking to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now they'll change things up. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
60, 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Warriors, 17. Panther 11, Panther 11.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Back to throw. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Cowboy 80.
Achane. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
Behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there as time expires in the first half. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Aubrey now for the PAT. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. And they'll give this to Achane. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in the running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On the handoff, it's Achane. They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
It's a gain of 29.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the Eagles' 19-yard line.
This is Achane. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It looks like they'll move things around here. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Norton. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. An audible here to get a new look. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Hurts. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Eagles send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Jacorian Bennett has it. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And his throw here's incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Here's Hurts to throw. They'll try and do this himself. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays that need to continue to convert.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Hurts. Got a man and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
Dolphins 14. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take another shot here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
A run now from Achane. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll audible to something else. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. Now a 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 18-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Oh, they're changing this at the line. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's good for a Boston 1st down.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run. Achane. Now he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Devon Achane. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2.
The Dolphins are lining up.
They're going to try and run. But he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Go Silver, ready?
Hurts sets up to throw it. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And Wilson with it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Hurts going to keep it running right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st down, Colbert will be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
73.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Come on, boys, keep it going. Take it to
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Going Silver, ready?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So that, Charles, obviously just a game changer here this 4th quarter, and they're an extra point away from stealing the lead.
And stealing is the absolute right word for it, because that'll wake up your sideline, won't it, partner?
Well, there's still time remaining, but boy, I mean, you think about it, you go from an offense with a lead in the ball trying to salt things away to a completely different scenario now after the return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. This is 1st and 10.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Hey, easy, 63, 6, Trimmer. 9. No,
Hurts now, hoping to make up for that pick 6. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They juked him. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
What a call right there. That is so well executed offensively. A massive play in this game. And now all of a sudden, they are in field goal range. And with a chance to walk out of here winners.
Great.
They'll run on 1st down. Colbert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 37-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Colbert. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Makes it 3rd down and 10.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down. Oh, my goodness! They were in field goal range, but it's intercepted. And the Dolphins have just about sewn up this football game.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
The only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles come up with a late turnover. And it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. What a thrilling 4th quarter this one was. Well, at least I guess if you're cheering for the winning side, an outstanding comeback, though, that saw them completely take control and change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of us saw that coming, the way that they were playing and having the lead after 3 quarters. A little bit of a stunning ending because it wasn't just a 1-touchdown swing. It was a multiple touchdown swing for them to end up losing that ball game. Give credit where credit is due. They came off the pace and got it done.
So for the Dolphins, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.